I was in the areas. Just thought I'd swing by like a girl is curious. And boys in the hood pops up on you. That's furious. Fierce is when you find your inferiors is inferior. What's scary is you're betting against the odds and you letting these niggas tell you you're better than what you are. I'm the bar measuring rod. This where we draw the line on your screen, turning it out like some etch-a-sketching knobs. Odd. You young dummies is lunch money. Either champ think cash is clay or fun putty. Little buddy, too bad you ain't got you a pot to piss. I'll bake 'em for this cake. Betty a crock of shit, search your inner circle. Real virtue, vice of virtue, man, this shit is personal. I saw fights turn into curse.
First things first, I pop freaks all the honeys, dummies, playboy bunnies, those wanting money. Those the ones I like cause they don't get Nathan but penetration. Unless it smells like sanitation, garbage I turn like doorknobs. Heart throb never, black and ugly as ever. However, I stay Gucci down to the socks. Rings and watch filled with rocks. And my jam knocking the Mitsubishi. Girls pee-pee when they see me. Never creep me in they teepee. As I lay down laws like Island Coppet. Stop it, if you think you're gonna make a profit. Don't see my ones, don't see my guns. Get it? Now tell your friends Papa hit it. Then split it in two. As I flow with the Junior Mafia. I don't know what the hell's stopping ya. I'm clocking ya, Versace shade watching ya. Once you grin, I'm in, game begin. First I talk about how I dress is this and diamond necklaces, stretch Lexus is the sex is just immaculate. From the back I get deeper and deeper, help you reach the climax that your man can't make. Call him, tell him you be home real late and sing the break. I got that good love, girl, you didn't know. I got that good love, girl, you didn't know. Sick of that song on how it's so long. Thought he worked his until I handled my biz. There I is, major pain like Damon Wayans. Low down dirty even like his brother Keenan scheming. Don't leave your girl around me, true player for real. Ask Puff Daddy. You ringing bells with bags from Chanel. Baby Ben's traded in your Hyundai XL. Fully equipped CD changer with the cell. She beat me at 12. Where you at? Flipping job, playing car notes. While I'm swimming in your women like the breaststroke. Right stroke, left stroke was the best stroke. Death stroke, tongue all down the throat. Nothing left to do but send her home to you. I'm through. Can you sing the song for me, boo? I got that good love, girl, you didn't know. I got that good love, girl, you didn't know. What? So what's it gonna be, him or me? We can cruise the world with pearls, gator boots for girls. The envy of all women, crushed linen, Cartier wristwear with diamonds in them. The finest women I love with the passion. Your man's a wimp, I get as a good thrashing. High fashion, flying into all states. Sexing me while your man... Isn't this great? Your flight leaves at 8, my flight lands at 9, my game just rewinds. Lyrically, I'm supposed to represent. I'm not only a client, I'm the player president. I got that good love, girl, you didn't know. I got that good love, girl, you didn't know.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is DSPNEWS, the unreliable ones. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the newsroom and welcome to the Galtopia News Network, your unreliable source for DSP News. Oh boy, living up to the moniker of this network. We are a day late, but unlike Phil, we have a career, so we're not $1 short. Today is September 25th, 2018. Yesterday was a day of reckoning. The reign of King Tut has come to an end. Some say his reign was about a month. Some people say he's been around for about 2. Whatever the case may be, he has chosen on his own principles to leave lower Galtopia and move his way up to upper Galtopia. Let me explain. Yesterday, an argument broke out between King Tut, who has been someone who possibly could have been Alex Sidella in on one of his many confirmed sock accounts, and Thanos Swagginz, aka King Swagginz, aka Empress Swagginz, aka the Cuck of Cucks. And in the Cuck of Thrones, things get ruthless. It seems apparent that King Tut merely wanted his kingdom to be a welcoming, engaging, and prosperous place. He wanted his reign to be something for people to remember. So he felt the need to shill out his gold and silver for the greater good, for the betterment of the community, in the same way that he did for upper Galtopia, which we'll talk about in a minute. And the recipient of that generosity, I'm sure he is in a much better place than he was yesterday. With that being said, the argument basically came about with the type of language and basically the general environment of DSP streams, of the chat in particular. It was toxic, full of its general racism. It's just another day in the Nazi chat, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? The Third Reich all over again. You guys understand how this works. In any case, apparently Swagginz took some shots. King Tut said, I'm basically above this and whatnot. I do what I want. I make the moves as I need to make it. And unlike the rest of you guys are stuck here because you can't go nowhere else. But King Tut, though, can move however and wherever he wants to. And so he bid his goodbyes. We will get into the actual nuances of the argument as the video goes along. I will have screenshots for you. Up to this point, you guys already saw a little collage that was put together by the fellows here. I'm sure you guys liked it. Hope you liked the song choice because I chose that. But at the end of the day, over here at GTG Network and Productions, it's a collective effort. Not one man is above anybody else. But since I am a cute and cuddly puppy in a sharp suit, I reign supreme. Don't tell anybody. In any case, Tut has made his exit. While this went on, Phil felt the need to take a small break during his pre-stream. There's something wrong with that, yeah? Okay, yeah. There's something wrong with that. Let's tackle that first. Why is Phil taking a break in the middle of his pre-stream? Maybe, just maybe, Phil, the pre-stream is too damn long. Maybe, just maybe, people want to just see you play the game instead of bitching for about an hour. Just saying. Friendly advice. With that being said, he takes a small break, and while this break goes on, a gentleman by the name of Jake Likes Cats, basically comes in and says, hey, I think Sidella is doing this nonsense, yada, 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 yada. All of a sudden, things go crazy. Things start to get silly. There's a bit of a conversation between Jake Likes Cats and King Tut, going back and forth a little bit. Then Swagginz ends up jumping into that. It's not nearly as exciting as one would think, but when you've seen the conversation and how it unfolded, this was bound to happen. King Tut's reign was going to be short. And sadly, it might have been a little bit shorter than what Dave himself would have wanted, but it was going to be short. I had said plenty of times that, God damn it, Swagginz, you put all that time in, you put in all that work, you gave up all that money to have your big cheers be dismissed like some side bitch while King Tut could come in here and he damn near had the run of the kingdom. He did have the run of the kingdom. He reigned supreme for about a month. So much so, in fact, that the long-term effects, the aftermath of this is still felt. I want you to think about that for a minute, Swagginz. That the small influence that Tut had for as long as he did, because I saw a particular conversation that you had with somebody else on Kiwi Farms, and I give you a little bit of credit. I want to call you naive. I want to call you naive, believing that if Phil was to expel you, if you were to, not, I wouldn't say expel you, if you were to make your exit, would Phil have shed any tears for you? The truth is, he wouldn't. And I'd like to think that you're smart enough to know that. But for some reason, though, Swagginz, you're a true believer. You've by far taken in gallons and gallons and gallons of that gout Kool-Aid. It's not even Kool-Aid. It's the dollar store brand shit and whatnot, that where instead of using 1 or 2 packets, you have to use like 7 to compensate on top of the pound of sugar, which is probably a good thing, because if not, it's just going to go into the sauce. And Sidella, I'm sure you know all about the sauce, don't you? It's not good for you. In any case, wheelchair Jimmy, Swagginz, you should have known better. You should understand your place in this pecking order. If nothing else, what happened after that pre-stream pretty much showed it. All you guys, you rallied the troops together. You guys threw all this money at Phil, and he had to fake it the whole way through. And the whole time you guys were giving him money, the whole time you guys were saying, it's okay, Phil, it's not your fault, don't worry about it, everything will work out. You know what I'm saying? Being good little bottom bitches. The whole time he was thinking about Tut. The whole time he was thinking about Tut. He even said that the last 2 months have been great, been immaculate, and that was all because of Tut. He revealed to us that we already knew. I mean, the detractors already knew, but you guys now know that he really relied on Tut. Mind, body, and soul. And gold and silver. He depended on Tut. That's why he was whoring himself out, saying, hey guys, I'm gonna play some Street Fighter 5 tonight. Hopefully King Tut comes out, because he loves it when I play Street Fighter. He has Phil wrapped. I can guarantee you that during his little breaks and during some of the slower times of the stream, which was pretty much the whole stream after most of the drama popped off, he was, feverishly trying to get a hold of King Tut. Please come back. Please come back. Let's talk about it. Now, we're going to get into these 2 videos. One by one of my favorites, Snort, and the other one by Mr. Huffstuffs. Yet again, another one of my favorites. And we're going to go over the situation. But he really thought, and meaning Dave, meaning Phil, meaning DSP, thought that, oh, well, King Tut will just reach out to me by email and everything's great. No. See, you being in the brothel that long, which I like to call Twitch, you being in that brothel, you must not have learned nothing. See, the hoe goes to the money. The money don't go to the hoe. Because, sorry, Phil, this is how business works, by the way. There are options. There are choices. There's something called variety. True variety. So you theoretically can go where you want, but if you as the streamer are dependent on one individual, oh, you got to chase the John down. The John don't have to chase you. Didn't the Twitch staff teach you nothing? For shame. For shame. What good is it to have a hoe who thinks he or she can do well in bed while providing little to nothing as it pertains to satisfaction? Oh my God. So much so, in fact, that King Tut had a backup plan. Like all good people who give large amounts of money on Twitch, they don't just give it to one person or another. You spread the love around a little bit. You're welcomed everywhere instead of just one little place. So why stay at some little rundown piece of shit bar when you can move a slight step up to a nice still kind of it's not really a shit, but it's a lousy lounge. Services, the crowd is entertaining. The host has his moments. So that's what he did. Now, how does that come about? Well, King Tut, when he was passing out all of those gifted subs and all those cheers and bits and everything to Phil, he was passing it out to people before Phil, by the way. Apparently King Tut has a history of this. Also, it's alleged that King Tut we know who he is. Like, we know, or we have an idea of who he is. He actually was on, Theo's stream yesterday, actually. And I didn't get to see all of it, but I got to see a little bit of it. It was an interesting interaction. Shouts out to Theo. But Tut had a plan. So he goes over there, and while he was passing some money over there to Phil, he was also passing money over there to Low Tier God. Mr. Get That Ass banned himself. And what was the most interesting aspect of all of that is how grateful Low Tier God was compared to DSP. DSP acted like, oh, well, yeah, Tut, you know I'm great, so of course you're going to help my community out because guess what? It's me. I provided all this content. It's my 10-year anniversary. I've done this for a decade. While Low Tier God was, hey man, thank you very much for coming through and for providing this for me and my stream. We very much appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? And thank you for going into your wallet and contributing and appreciating what I do here and what I can continue to do moving forward. That's not what Low Tier God said, but it's close enough. It's close enough. I just cleaned it up a little bit. But in general, it was actually a very, very heartfelt thank you. Something that DSP wouldn't have been capable of. Because it would just came across fake if he tried to fake it. So, Tut, at least for now, has made his home there. Now, let's talk a little bit about Sidella. Oh boy. Now, as you guys know, Sidella is been banned off Twitch for threatening death upon somebody because he said he wanted a piece of his mom in front of his dad. I don't necessarily see the problem with that, to be honest. For some people, they're into cucking. So, I would assume his mother would appreciate it. But whatever. Sidella felt a certain type of way about it, threatened death on him, and he got banned. Now, it's funny because when he was supposedly using his winnings from 21, because the dealer probably felt bad for him, to go ahead and try to hire a hitman, he didn't get in any trouble over that. Not just from DSP, but from the actual Twitch itself. But Twitch apparently came down to go ahead and clean this up. Yet again, ladies and gentlemen, DSP did not at all discipline Alex Sidella. Twitch staff ended up doing that. But Sidella's a crafty one. Don't let his disability fool you. He's crafty. Wheelchair Jimmy is not too far off the mark. He's not in the wheelchair, by the way. At least not that I know of. In any case, he has sock accounts. And because of that, he's been jumping back and forth. And certain people have picked this up. This isn't anything new. Go to the Kiwi Farms threads and you can read all about it. In any case, somebody did pick it up. A gentleman by the name of Jake likes cats. Now, the interesting thing about this individual is he's been around for a while. Known troll. A good one too. And protected. Some people suspect that he might be a detractor in disguise. Don't know. But he's definitely a very good troll, and he's someone who's been banned multiple times. Some people say he's been banned at least twice confirmed. Some people, Dave himself says he's banned him like 4 or 5 times. In any case, he keeps coming back. And yesterday was no different. Now, you guys are going to see this almost epic rant by Phil that I haven't personally seen since, what was the name of that one guy that people were calling a cuck for a long ass time? Waifu Destroyer Matt. Since him. And you know, he sat there and he said, it's your fault, and why did you point out this and that and third? I don't want to ruin the video. We'll get into that in a minute. But the aftermath of that is that Jake ended up coming back. He showed back up. It was what it was. And because he showed back up, and everything's basically all hunky-dory now, he's right back in position. After Phil said it himself that good riddance to bad rubbish, and sat there and ranted on this kid, you know, minutes, for minutes at a time. So, yeah, there's that. What else do we have? Also, there was a couple other people who ended up getting banned for trying to stand up for our friend who loves cats. So a few of them took a hit. I think most of them were gifted subs. Shame, no shame. Low Tier God, who is the ruler of Upper Galtopia. He's winning at the end of the day. He's winning. He's winning real big because now he has a very generous benefactor who has publicly stated that Low Tier God's community is much, much better than DSP's. And another interesting note is King Tut even said it wasn't actually DSP himself that screwed it all up. That screwed the pooch, if you will. It was his community who did it. It was the chat that did it. With the even funnier quirk that someone decided to come out of the woodwork and say, hey man, this is a package deal. If you're going to take Phil, you have to take the rest of us too. Lovely, for sure. Riveting in some ways. In any case, Low Tier God's winning. He's going to now, I would assume for at least for a little while, he's going to benefit heavily off this. Low Tier God is not stupid. I'm sure he's caught wind of what this situation is and is laughing hysterically and whatnot while he's at the gym getting his weight up. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Now, let's talk about DSP briefly and then get into our broadcast. DSP has yet again, as I've said, as others have said, has done himself in. All it took was time. Okay? All it took was time. His chat with everybody in it was bred by him. He groomed them, if you will, because that's a nice little buzzword right now. He groomed them to be the individuals that they are in a lot of ways. Or he at least helped bring out what they are currently. So with that being said, how could he not be surprised that they would fuck up a good thing for him? But DSP himself still has a hand in that. Everything DSP touches turns to shit. I've said that since day one. And since day one, whether you like the delivery or not, whether you like how it was presented to you or not, that doesn't make me any less wrong. It certainly did not. And as you guys know about the catchphrase over here, you give him enough rope and he'll hang himself. And he's doing a very good job. And equal to my slogan, neither one of us have disappointed you as it pertains to that. It is what it is. I'm always going to be late and he's always going to fuck up and blame somebody else. So now he's in a really, really bad predicament because he's got two benefactors that people want ousted, being Thanos Swagginz and Alex Sidella, for real this time, sock accounts and all. And then you got Tut, the one who's really important. Don't worry about these other two and how much time they've put in and how much work they've put in, all that money and so on and so forth. They done fucked up, despite the fact neither one of them got disciplined last night. It's King Tut that's the problem. It's King Tut that I'm sure has been getting all of the emails for the last, 12 hours plus, saying, please come back, what can I do to make this work? I'm really sorry, yada, yada, yada. I'm trying to have a positive environment over here. I want it to be fun. I want it to be entertaining. You've been a great help to me financially. Please don't leave. Please don't leave me. Please don't leave. And if you are King Tut at this moment, you're either A, thinking, God damn, he's pathetic. I wasted my money over there. Or B, I have you right where I want you. And you're going to remove everybody I want you to remove moving forward. But since King Tut has come out and also said he didn't really want to be part of the community anyway, hopefully Phil saved his money outside of that unplanned vacation he allegedly took, staycation if you will, that he took off, or that he went on, I should say. Like I said, it's all alleged, of course. We don't have any absolute proof yet, but there's a whole lot of evidence, and it's very, very compelling. In any case, let's get it to the video. I've run my mouth long enough. Ladies and gentlemen, this is DSP News, always late, never breaking, unreliable coverage that you can't count on, a GTG Network and Productions. You guys all know the slogan. It's time to watch me work. Like I said, the two videos, one by Snort Burnell, one by Mr. Huffstuffs, basically the fall of King Tut within DSP's community, or the exit of King Tut However you want to word it. Let's get into it.
Warning. What you may see right now is going to be absolutely disgusting. I like how you're laughing too.
Well, it's funny.
One man's journey.
Look at this. Look at that. Did you see that poor little horse with those stubby little legs? That's a shame. Had its habitat invaded by that absolutely ravenous pig, and then was forced to do exercise, forced to be chased around. Horrible, 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 horrible. Just breaking the rules left and right. Similar to that, I forgot to mention one more thing about our friend Sidella, but I will we'll touch on that later. In the fact that if that is really Swagginz and on those sock accounts, isn't that ban invasion? And isn't that against TOS? And wouldn't that also negatively affect Phil? I guess we'll look into that moving forward. Praise be Almighty.
He says, you said in an earlier stream you do not want children. Since you're an only child, do you think it would be unfair to your parents that you're not going to continue their lineage and bloodline? No.
No. Kids are idiots. Kids are complete idiots.
It's not my responsibility to do that. It's not anyone's responsibility to do that. Maybe in certain cultures, people do feel that way.
Wait. It's not your responsibility to carry on your family's bloodline genes. I mean, if he chooses not to have children, that's fine. But I've been saying from the beginning that he wouldn't. He's too selfish. He's too selfish of an individual that you really think he's going to let time, effort, and resources go to someone else before himself? No. No. Phil doesn't have that in him. He doesn't have that in him at all. His first excuse is, oh, well, I'm not financially stable. A lot of people say that, and that's understandable. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't bring a child into the world if you can't, feasibly take care of a child. But Phil's just greedy. He's just selfish. And more importantly than that, Phil can see the flaws within himself, which means he could very well possibly see those same flaws in his children, whether they're actually there or not. And if so, then do you really think it's like wanting to deal with himself? Do you really think he'd want that burden? He puts a burden on other people. He's a strain on other people. He's a parasite, if you will. So do you really think the biggest parasite around wants smaller parasites taking from him, taking that precious nutrients from him? No. It's funny though too, because I thought I mentioned that in a video yesterday. I'm sure it's just a coincidence.
But I've never felt that kind of pressure. My life is my own, and if I choose to have children, great, and if not, that's under my own power. I'm not going to let what other people think influence, my important life decisions. If I feel that I'm fit to be a father, great, and if I feel I'm not, great, and there's no wrong or right decision there, and I don't let societal norms or cultural things influence me, and right now I just really don't have any desire to be a dad, and I'm getting up there in age to the point where if I don't become one soon, I wouldn't be able to be a father too effectively, and so more than likely I have no desire for it, it's just out of the picture, okay?
Well, with that being said, you wouldn't make an effective husband, you're barely an effective boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? You're barely good at anything that you're doing at current. You being a father is probably you not being a father, I should say, it's probably a blessing. Now, I know most people would want to say, oh, come on, GTG, that's kind of harsh, man. In a couple years, he might see the error of his ways and he might actually be able to go on and do something. Okay, and that right there is actually relatively fair. Now, let's go ahead and cut the bullshit for a minute. This man right here has used every person who's ever come across his path without a slight flicker in his eye, without a whimper. Everybody and everything is meant to be used to further his cause. And sadly, you don't want somebody like DarkSydePhil having a child. Because if he does, he might be like some other YouTubers and try to use his kids to benefit. And do you really want to see that? Do you really want to see any more kids being exploited for the failures of their parents? Do we not see enough of that in Hollywood? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just saying. Do you really want to do that? No. And more importantly than that, look at what he has to face. Do you really want to see a little Phil have to go to school and deal with that bullshit? And no one's wishing that on the child. But sadly, ladies and gentlemen, the sins of the father is a thing. At least in some cases. DSP News.
Else I do, I mash to win.
One man's journey shoot again. He said, my daughter sometimes watches your stream.
What? And I'm not a children's entertainer. I'm a mature adult.
I want to buy her something for your Teespring shop, but I don't see options for any children's sizes. Is there any reason you don't have that? Well, more than likely, I've never really even looked for it. I'll be honest with you. One man's journey. I've never even looked to see if they have children's sizes apparel on Teespring. Maybe they do. I mean, I would almost go as far to say they probably do of something. I wouldn't know what. But you're actually the first person in a year and a half that I've had the Teespring store open who's asked for that. You're the first person. So, you know, obviously it's not a thing that's majorly in demand. Plus, I'm sure to get any of the logos and things that I have on my Teespring shop to actually fit a child's shirt would probably be, not annoying, but very much more difficult because it's a very small surface area on a smaller shirt. And maybe Teespring just doesn't want to deal with that. I don't know. But the answer is there's no real demand for it. You're the first person who's ever asked. If there were more demand and people were like, man, I really am.
No, that's not true, by the way, to some extent. There are plenty of other YouTubers out there who have, for obvious reasons, who have apparel that is made for children all the way up to grown adults. So it's not hard. He would just have to put the effort in. And more importantly than that, who really wants to run around wearing an 86 on their shirt? Or hate Army? Or any of the stuff that he's really putting out lately. It's just, if they can wear it around the house or maybe wear it to the park or something, you know, that might be fine. But going to school wearing that? No. No, boo-boo. No, you're not doing that. You're not doing that at all. Not at all.
In children's sizes, then I would look into it. But being that there's one person, it's not a major concern for me right now. Okay?
This is Ariel Charity says, glad to see you back, DSP. Heard someone cut your cables. That's insane shit. No one cut my cables at all.
Now, wait till you get into this. This story is really stupid. Like, his story is really dumb. Now, the thought process is he went on a staycation. He left Friday night, 6 p.m. Well, probably 7. Left Friday night because there was no evening stream for good reason because that's always a dead air anyway. Leaves Friday. They check in Friday night, probably I'd say probably at 8 o'clock more likely. Went ahead and spent all of Saturday there and then checked out Sunday morning. Checkout times, as you guys know, is between 10 and 11. Most places really 11 though. And he was back home in plenty of time for pre-stream for Sunday. So it worked out. James the Lester Express Lane actually did a video on it. Great video, by the way. I will link that in the description. It was on one of my last videos also, but just in case you missed it, we will link it again because it is a very good watch. But let's hear the cover story.
The Phil drama show every day.
It was something incredibly stupid. Basically, there's a piece of hardware that Comcast installs only in certain residential homes. Okay, it's not every home. Only certain homes have this piece of equipment called an amplifier. It looks like a power adapter plugged into your wall. And unless Comcast directly told you what it does and how important it is, you would never know. I had one in my bedroom. I didn't even know it was.
Okay, so let's think about that, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to let an individual in your home to install cable, whatever the case that may be. And you're not going to ask questions about something that you haven't seen? You're not going to ask questions about just the general equipment that they're bringing into your home and installing? Just in case something happens, just so you have an idea of what it is, so on and so forth? Who doesn't ask questions? I mean, and most technicians, actually every technician I've dealt with, they've been cool with answering my questions. No problem. I'm not being a dick about it. I'm just like, hey, what's that? How does that work? Especially if I don't know what it is. There's nothing wrong. Personally, there's nothing wrong with asking a question of something that you don't know. Because if not, then you have the other side of the coin where you act like you know everything and you just look stupid. Exhibit A, DSP. It's so much easier just to ask. There's no shame in it. You don't know. No one can crucify you over that. Well, I guess in a different time. I guess in a different time once. So who wouldn't ask any questions? Secondly, why would the amplifier be in the bedroom? I know he says he's going to say that he has a phone in there, but wouldn't you want that in the office? In one of the offices, I should say? Something? And how did it get unplugged? Well, as the mystery deepens, let's get into it.
I guess they put it there because they needed it for my phone, which is also in my bedroom.
You know, I'm a simple guy. I'm a gamer. I'm not a techie. I'm not a fucking guy that knows all the ins and outs of this shit. You're like talking to a lay person. You're talking to a gamer. You're not talking to an editor. You're not talking to a PC, builder. You're not talking to a techie guy. You're talking to a guy who just wants to sit down, press record, play a game, and have fun, right?
And apparently it just got loose from the wall. And all I needed to do was push it back in fully, and everything worked. But as stupid as that sounds, I was never explained by Comcast what that piece of equipment was. I was never told to check for it. Even when I called customer service, telling them the problem, they never, in their wildest dreams, thought that it could be an amplifier. So, it was hilarious because then afterward, Comcast contacted me again via Twitter, and they're like, oh, well, we don't keep records of homes that have amplifiers in them, so we wouldn't have known that. And I'm like, well, why don't you? Doesn't that sound like something you should do? Instead of basically making excuses for why.
Wait a second. Didn't he say, though, that this amplifier was prestigious and not every home has it and whatnot? It's kind of selective. So if that's the case, then they would theoretically have a list for it. Theoretically. Or maybe, just maybe, depending on what your plan is, depends on whether you get one or not. Or maybe, just maybe, a lot of people actually have it, and it's not as prestigious as he made it sound. I don't know. I'm not saying that he would bullshit a situation to boast himself. But then again, the initial, oh, sorry that your wires got cut, even though they didn't really get cut, which would make an interesting cover story on why he was gone for, or he didn't have any internet, I should say, for like a day and a half. Well, coincidence, I'm sure. I'm sure it's just a coincidence.
Internet for a day and a half, like it's my fault.
I did nothing wrong. I did everything correct.
Why don't you just document your equipment properly, and then we won't have this issue? And of course, then they had nothing to say. So, yeah, it was a pretty stupid issue that could have literally been fixed in 5 seconds if Comcast customer support were trained properly, but they're not. And that's why I didn't have internet for a day and a half. The good news is I really lost nothing because I wasn't going to stream on Saturday anyway. It was just annoying that everything I did had to be on my phone for like a day and a half. So, One Man's Journey says they have millions of customers. That's correct, but they don't have millions of business level customers who pay exorbitant amounts of money for their businesses to operate.
But you certainly aren't the only person that has business class internet. I'm sure you're not the only person who has business class internet in your neighborhood, let alone in your area, and certainly not within the state. So, bullshit.
Go higher, help more. $1 a month actually helps and adds up, all right? As little as $1 helps, okay? Ayúdame.
That's funny. I thought Rich from Review Tech USA said the same thing. Now it makes you wonder who wrote the script. Obviously, DSP did.
It's muy importante. I need your help. I still need your help. Pledge today. My favorite perk is the $5 perk.
On their business level internet, so they should keep track of the information for business customers. Sorry, but I should get the preferential treatment. Trust me, I'm probably paying 3 to 4 times as much for internet as any of you do, so I should be getting that level of service.
You're getting that level of service, but yet, you should get that level of service, I'm sorry. Yet, you yourself don't even know what you have, don't know where it is, and probably aren't utilizing the equipment or the service properly or to its fullest. Similar to that very nice BMW that he had back in Connecticut that he drove around for 4 years and never got the oil changed. Hashtag he did nothing wrong.
By the way, I have absolutely no idea what's going on in the stream chat. I've been doing all these shout outs, and now I go back to the stream chat, and now it looks like we've got people arguing or something. What the hell's going on? I'm like totally behind everything going on here. I have no clue what's going on. What I will say is this. If there is a situation, people please contact me directly. Mods, let me know what's going on.
It sounds to me that he actually had a pretty decent grasp of what the situation was, and he played stupid. Now, why? We don't know. But it seems like he actually had a pretty good idea of what was going on if he has to tell people to contact me directly, which I would assume is not long after Tut made his exit. So, which is actually even funnier because someone on Twitter had a screenshot of when he was saying, please Tut, please contact me directly, we can talk, and Tut wasn't even in the room. He was gone. He was out. Makes you wonder.
If you have an issue, please email me. We've talked before. Let's see what the hell's going on. I have no idea. I'm here reading shoutouts, and I come back and I see everyone's like upset at each other. So, please. It would be nice if we could all just talk and figure out what the hell's going on. You gotta understand, I'm doing a pre-stream. I don't even know what the hell's happening here. I come back, and next thing I know, people seem upset at each other. Yeah, I know. It's like I tell you guys every day. I have nothing to do with this drama. You notice I have nothing to do with any of it. So here I am doing a pre-stream. I finally click back to the stream chat. I look, right, and there's drama, and I'm like, I have nothing to do with this. I have nothing to do with this drama. I can't. I'm sorry, guys. I can't be here.
Now here's the thing. Instead of trying to distance himself from the situation and not take any responsibility and say it's not my fault, why aren't you just trying to solve the problem initially? Why don't you just take care of the initial problem instead of trying to push the blame over to someone else in the hopes that someone else does the work for you? Because that's all you're hearing right here. It's someone being like, I don't know what's going on, this isn't my fault, no one blame me, please don't blame me, I didn't do anything. Instead of, hey guys, what's going on, let's work this out. Hey guys, someone explain to me at least what is going on, and can we talk this out? Instead of trying to distance himself and make himself look like the victim. Which only made him look more stupid later on when he starts ranting and raving, and then had to play Max Payne, I think it was. Basically miserable for the first, I don't know, maybe 20, 25, 30 minutes or whatever. Which caused the pig cult to basically shake whatever they could out of their piggy banks to go ahead and try to cheer him up, and it still didn't work. Just saying.
Micromanage the stream every moment, and I do rely heavily on my moderators to do a good job because I can't be here every moment, and especially I'm doing shoutouts and stuff. I can't be doing a shoutout for my Muxie while also micromanaging the stream chat and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Why can't you? It's all on the same screen anyway. You can't minimize one screen so you can pay attention to what's going on while giving shoutouts? I'm sorry, can you not read two aspects of the same screen? Is that really that hard? And for someone who looks at who's attached to the screen, to his laptop as diligently as he is, you're telling me you can't do two things at once? Is that really how limited you are? And it's not like he has some elaborate setup. You know what I'm saying? If you've ever seen James the Lesser setup, for example, it's way cleaner than DSP's, but then again, everybody's setup is way cleaner. But then, I'm just using him as the example. DSP's setup is, here, I'll break it down for you, just in case you guys haven't seen a picture. A laptop, he has his mic stand here, the camera's right, the camera's right, sorry, laptop, mic, camera, tissues, you guys know what that's for. Usually his mug, not like the mug that I have currently, because my mug is better, but he has some mug, usually some energy drink of choice, and something to squeeze when he's not able to squeeze himself. That's basically it. And a whole lot of dust. That's basically the DSP setup. So, I mean, I understand that he's pushing the narrative that he's going to need to upgrade his equipment, because that laptop is God knows how old it is, and he never took care of it, and who knows when's the last time he updated some drivers or anything on it. So, of course, it's probably going to, in his hands, in his hooves, I should say, it's probably on its last leg, while anybody else who's at least remotely knows how to use Google could probably figure out what the problems are in, I don't know, an hour or so. I can understand that he has his technical limitations to some degree, but this is what he does. So you're telling me that you can't give shouts out on Muggsy while regulating your own chat? This is what this is. I understand that you had to pick the greater good for yourself, Phil. Money or these pathetic cucks that give me the money. Okay, let's talk about the money first. I understand that. But you're telling me that while all this is on the same screen, you couldn't shift your eyes back and forth. It was that hard. All right. Just saying. Cocktails.
I don't know what the hell's going on. I just don't know. And sadly, I really don't want
Actually, you know what? It's buggy eye mechanics. And I remember James the Lesser saying that he needs glasses. Because Phil does wear glasses. Or at least he should, but he don't. I guess he thinks it's cool or something. There's nothing cool about being 40 and blind. But in any case, yeah, you might want to just go ahead and invest in some glasses, Phil. You might just want to do yourself that solid.
Because he was really nervous. Just said, "You're the daddy. You have to take care of these kids." I have nothing to do. I have nothing to do with this, guys. I have nothing to do with this. You know, I can't be here every moment to know exactly what's going on 100% of the time in the chat. I can't. So, like I said, what I would hope would happen is if there really is problems that people would contact me and we'll talk about it and figure it out, rather than people now arguing in the stream chat and then I come back and oh, well, everyone's upset. Everyone's upset at everyone. That's nice. Well, what happened? The fuck happened? I was giving shout outs to people who were happy. You know? Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know. Well, anyway, thanks for your cheers. One man's journey to Zerial, Swagginz. Thank you. What can I do? All I can do is continue on. You know?
I think he ended up banning One Man's Journey too, by the way. I think. Crazy
Dream did 100-bit cheers and no one's blaming you.
No, maybe not. Maybe not. I might have him mixed up with somebody else.
Hope not. But the problem is, you know, people getting upset and then... This is the problem. This is the truth. Is I can't be everywhere at all times, and I can't micromanage every single person in a community. I mean, think about earlier this year what happened. We had a moderator who went rogue, went against my wishes, went out, stirred the pot with detractors, caused both himself and others to get hurt by his actions, and somehow it negatively rubs off on me. I had nothing to do with any of it, but somehow I'm the one.
I'm actually kind of mad at myself that I'm about to justify what DarkSydePhil did, even though Vidal, you can't really justify what Vidal did. And I'm not even going to try to. What I will say is this. He frontlined for you, Phil. That's what his job was. His job was to give you money and frontline for you and regulate, and to be honest with you, regulate the community, your chat, and your boards. And he did it. That's what he was doing. He frontlined for you. He sat there and fell on his goddamn battle axe for you. So, and what is this nonsense about against my wishes? The fuck is you? Not Merlin. You don't have any. You're not special. Okay, you're not special. I think his whole objective was always seek and destroy, and that's what he did. You don't turn that off when you've had someone do that for all those years. He just picked the wrong targets, which is even funnier now that he's actually made himself a nice home over there. So. Small ironies, I guess. But he frontlined for you. For you to sit there and say, oh, he went rogue and he went off and lost his goddamn mind and did on this, that, and the third. You benefit, well, in previous situations, you benefited from that. That right there, he went against something that was bigger than what he could really handle. But prior to that, he essentially got the job done. Kinda, sorta, not really. The SOK situation wasn't really... That wasn't a good look. I don't know why he went on there as many times as he did. But he was brave for doing it. I'll give him that much. But the point is he was doing his job. He was doing what you've always asked him to do. So don't sit there and turn around and say because this one situation really blew up in your goddamn face that all of a sudden he went rogue and he was just, you know, this, that, and the third and blah, 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 blah. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because I understand how people like coming in on detractor chats and being like, how can one man be able to regulate the whole community over there, this, that, and the third? It's not a community per se, though. It's more of a cult. People will listen to him if he says something. And we all know how Phil feels about people talking about him. In video form, on forums, and so on and so forth. You're telling me it's out of the question that he sent him over there? He sent DarkSydePhil over there to do what he did? He probably didn't know the actual method that Brightside was going to go about. But he certainly knew what the result was going to be. It wouldn't have been any different than any other time. Look at Phil's Discord. Well, it's not there anymore. But look at Phil's Discord. That got shitted up real fast. I wonder who was responsible for that. I said you can't play victim forever. DSPNEWS.
Held over the fire because of the actions of others. It's bullshit, right? So now things have been going good, right? Things these past couple of months have been great. I had two of the best streaming months I ever had. This month, September, has been pretty good. Things are looking up, right? We got positivity. We got people getting gifted subs and everything. Why do people then have to fucking deteriorate into now we're all gonna hate each other and now it's all, you know what I mean? I'm putting out entertaining streams. That's all I can do. I can't control everyone else. I can't. And you know, it frustrates me that we may have a situation where...
Now here's my question. It's funny how much bigger streamers can have the N-word thrown in their comment section once and the whole stream goes down. and death threats, so on and so forth, it goes down. Even if they weren't the ones who said it. Yet, this idiot right here had Alex Sidella sit there. Well, Alex did the death threat on his own. But he did a death threat. Yeah, Alex gets permanent banned, but Phil didn't get banned for a set amount of time. The N-word is thrown around in his chat quite a bit, and he's never hit for the concept of racism, which gets bigger guys hit all the time. Yet again, what the fuck is really going on over there? Now, I've said it plenty of times that he's a guinea pig. He's there to be experimented on as it pertains to the concept of bullying among streamers. But when is enough enough? How much more data do you need out of him? This idiot can't hold a sponsor. He can't hold a sponsor that's directly associated with Twitch. And he finally was in a position to get somebody else in there that can, on a consistent basis, give him money, and he somehow fouled that up too. And he was part of that downfall. Don't let him mistake you of anything else. He was very much involved in that. His lack of action is what caused this to happen.
People are upset and they go, oh, I'm not going to come back anymore because this happened. I had nothing to fucking do with it.
It's not my responsibility, you know? I don't know why people just can't act normal and not have these fucking ridiculous disagreements. You know what I mean? These cult mentality people. Jig Likes Cat says, Tut left because of Sidella. Where the fuck is Sidella? Sidella hasn't been in stream chat for like over a month, dude. So why don't you shut the fuck up? And I mean that, Jig Likes Cats, because you're one of the people who constantly stirs the shit. Why am I toxic?
You're the one who brings up Sidella more than anyone. No one fucking cares. The guy's not even in here anymore. And you're the one who...
I will say, though, too, right? There's an interesting relationship between Phil and Sidella. It goes way, way back. And I wonder, in a lot of ways, to be honest with you, obviously not sexually, but Phil has groomed Sidella, as well as some of those, I'd say the majority of those people. He's groomed them to be what they are. You know what I mean? That's what he's... I mean, he doesn't punish their behavior. So, yeah. And he knows who's staunchly loyal to him compared to those who just kind of come in and might be questionable. And Sidella's gotten away with a lot. He still does. I don't know if Phil does it because of the money that has been given him or because of the guy's handicap or whatever the case may be. But he's let that dude slide. And Phil's not stupid. He knows that Sidella's back in that chat. He knows it. Because everybody else knows it. But yet he still defends him. Well, I guess every cuck needs a sensei, right? Or a cucksei? Yeah, that works.
Up on a daily basis. So how about you shut the fuck up and stop causing the shit? And I mean that too, because you've been banned multiple times for causing shit in here. So maybe you should fucking stop. You know? I'm tired. I'm seriously tired of it. Here I am, trying to put on a fun stream, and I gotta deal with these fucking people causing shit constantly. You know? Jake, how would anyone know if he's here on a sock unless you brought it up? How would anyone know that unless you brought it up? You're the one who's causing the problem here. You. Yes, you. Because you're the one who constantly is bringing this shit up. How the fuck would anyone know?
I don't know how you can't see that you're the problem.
Whoa. So he's causing the problem because he's pointing out that there is somebody in your chat who's been banned off the site who's committing ban invasion, which could very well come back down on you yourself. He's, in a lot of ways, he's trying to help you. His methods are, call it whatever you want to call it, but he's kind of looking out for you and the community at large. And you really think that you can sit there and get in front of Twitch, get on your hands and knees and plead ignorance? Alright. I guess as long as whatever Twitch administrator gets their happy ending at the end of that, it's whatever, right?
The one who brings it up on a daily basis. You're the one who turned this poor guy into a fucking meme to begin with. Not just you, but you and a bunch of others, but you're part of the problem.
Nah, he turned himself into a goddamn meme. Okay? He turned himself into a damn meme. And then when shit got real and things really started to heat up, oh, no, you guys, I found God. Oh, you guys shouldn't attack me. You know what I'm saying? It's bad enough that I'm handicapped, but you know what I'm saying? No, you shouldn't. Okay? God wouldn't want that. This, that, and the third. Oh, God was okay with the North American ape shit, though. God was okay with the N-word shit, all right? But all of a sudden, God ain't cool now that all that heat's coming back on you. And then at 26, Sidella, you decided to go ahead and run home to mommy and daddy and say, "Mommy and daddy, look what they're doing to me. Please make it stop." No. But then later on, you say that we're all equal. So if we're all equal, then you can go ahead and take this ass whooping, this virtual ass whooping, if you will, like everybody else get. You don't get to run around and spew ignorance and then just spew just dumb shit on top of that and not get checked for it. And then, in truth, you weren't even really getting checked. You were getting trolled and whatnot. People in DSP's chat were like, "Yo, quit with the racist bullshit. It's not funny." While when you're on Twitter, people were just trolling the shit out of you, and you just, for whatever reason, couldn't stand the banter. And then thought God was going to save you. Which, just in case you didn't know, the number of atheists are growing by, like, the day. So that doesn't help much of anything, does it? So either A, you go back to that North American aid bullshit again. You don't want to do that. You just want to blame that on The Simpsons. Or you learn how to take a hit. And you hiding behind mommy, daddy, and this uncle who's Dog the Bounty Hunter and all this bullshit, that's not going to hold up. It's really not. So you might want to smarten up.
Here, I'll read the logs. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ban you.
I'm just going to ban.
And I'm going to have you sit outside of the stream chat all day. And I guarantee you we won't have any drama. That's what we're going to do. We're going to have Jake sit outside of the stream chat. And we're going to have him just cool off and see, because who brought up the fact, oh, someone's sitting here on a fucking sock account and he was a racist and blah, blah, blah. Who brought that up? You know? And this is what I mean.
But how does expelling Jake fix the problem? That's the thing that I'm waiting for. How does that fix the problem? It sounds to me that the people who are supposed to take the hit, you're just giving it to Jake. He's going to have to go ahead and take the blunt of all this. He's going to have to take the lashings. And I guess in some twisted hope that Swagginz and Alex will see this as the example and just straighten up. It doesn't seem reasonable, to be honest. But not to say that anything that Dave does is reasonable. But you see, though, how he's just constantly working against himself. Like, he's screwing himself right now, and he doesn't even see it. Whether he's just not smart enough to see it, or ego, or arrogance, or just lack of a lot of things. Common sense is a factor. It is a thing. And if you're not willing to ban these two individuals, at least discipline them. Show the community itself, and I use that term loosely, that if anybody who steps out of line, who really steps out of line, will be punished for this. Will be held to task. That responsibility will be divvied out. For Christ's sake, fucking Swagginz is a moderator. And wasn't he the same person who was saying that he wouldn't mind sharing the crown with King Tut? Even though that's a cuckish type of thing to say. One does not share power. You take it absolute or you die trying. Or you be a servant, but being a servant is not an option. DSPNEWS.
I'm trying to just have a fun stream, and I got to deal with this stupid shit.
I'm just tired of it. I can't babysit fucking kids, you know? Oh my god. Laugh, laugh, laugh. Joke, joke. Rage, rage. Laugh, laugh, laugh. Joke, joke. Rage, rage. I am 100% negative. Negative, negative, negative. Rant, rant, rant. Angry, angry, angry. And man. Cat, you need to get out now. That place is toxic. Yep, I'm toxic.
I'm tired of people, you know, the truth is, I don't know how many times you can give someone a chance, because Jake's been now banned like 5-6 times for doing this same kind of shit. Like, we're all just here having, exactly, Augustus Ming, you came here to see Max Payne. We didn't come here, I'm doing a fun pre-stream. And then I fucking come back, and there's all this drama. What happened? Well, someone called out that Sidella was on a sock account, and he's this, and then he upset Tutankhamun, and Tutankhamun, what the fuck? Then get out. Get out and don't come back. If this is what you do in my stream chat, get out and don't come back. I don't want that shit anymore. And I'm serious. I'm putting my foot down at this point. I'm not putting up with this shit anymore. I'm not gonna have people upset and people all angry at each other and shit, because you got people who just want to stir drama up. And you can hide behind your bullshit. Oh, it wasn't me, look at the law. Fuck you. I just saw you do it. You literally just did it. So enough is enough. Enough is enough. Yeah, I agree, ITG Jake. Jake Likes Cats is a huge shit stirrer. On a daily basis, he's a shit stirrer, and we don't need to stir shit anymore. Trust me, there's enough shit in the world, we don't need to stir shit into my stream. I've had enough. And that's it.
The shit's already there. The stream is the shit. In some ways, it'd be fair to say he was trying to clean some of it up. And King Tut was funding it. Now that the money's gone, or at least the bulk of it, I think someone on Kiwi Farm said it was like 40%. Something ridiculous. That's a lot. That's a lot. You know what I'm saying? He was 40% of Phil's income. That's scary. We'll talk about that further. But someone on Kiwi Farms crunched the numbers. Someone on Kiwi Farms crunched the numbers. That's scary, though. 40% of your income came from one person. But, like I said, he was the one that was cleaning. The stream is shit. The chat is shit. The person who's on the stream who says he's entertaining is shit. You're going to attract flies because that's just your nature. This isn't hard. This isn't, something that needs to be deciphered. This is what reality is. Your reality is perpetual failure. You'll never escape it. Period. Until you look in the mirror and realize that every move you've made for the last 10 years, if not most of your life, has put you where you are. That's given you the mindset of some level of superiority that you never really had. And when people were laughing with you, or at least when you thought they were laughing with you, that crowd of people, for example, not all of them were laughing with you. Some of them were laughing at you. And if it wasn't for, at least in Connecticut, if it wasn't for John Howard and other people who had your back, you'd have been clowned. And then all that medication you were taking, that cocktail of medication, you might have had one too many. You might have one day have had one too many, and then who else needs to say anything after that? And I'm not wishing that upon him, but let's talk about reality. The reality is he's a man who's holding on to another man just so he can live. Let's understand this, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and paint the picture for you for just a second. Phil has a condo. He has a house. He has one car, possibly two. He has a girlfriend. And yet he is on stream, day in, day out, begging kids for money. And then was struck gold, quite literally, had someone fall in his lap, and that person ended up becoming, at least from what I've seen, at about 40% of his income. Yet again, this is all due to Kiwi Farms. Shouts out to Kiwi Farms on that. That's ridiculous. Someone tell me where the success is in that. Tell me, please, someone tell me how he's a winner under those conditions. Now, I want someone to tell me, how is it a good idea for him to procreate? He can't take care of himself. Others have to take care of him. You want to bring a child into that mix? You really want a child to go through the psychological warfare that's gonna be brought upon them? And then, and I want you guys to really think about this, imagine what that child's going to be like in 15 years, 20 years. If you think DSP is bad, try, in the depths of your mind, to think of something worse. And it still doesn't match up to what that kid would have been under those conditions. So think about that the next time you really want to try to give Phil a chance, before you want to give Phil the benefit of the doubt. DSP News.
Put down. I'm done. If Jake wants to contact me, whatever, but I'm not fucking unbanning that guy. I had enough. And that goes for many of you, because I know there's a few people who like to do this shit in the stream chat. Oh, I know. Let's stir some more shit up. Let's get people upset. Haha, maybe we could upset Tutankhamun, because behind the scenes in reality, I don't like Phil. And if we can get Tutankhamun to not come in and support Phil anymore, then we'll get our jollies, because look at what we did. Well, fuck you. Get the fuck out of my chat then. I had enough. Enough is enough.
The salty tears. Salty tears.
Alright, to Zerial did 100-bit cheers. He's glad for your positivity, but I also like to see detractors get wrecked. That's not what it's about. It's just about me trying to maintain a chat that's positive and fun, you know? How the hell is it that You know, again, I'm having a positive, fun pre-stream. I come back and there's all this drama. I can't have this shit anymore. I'm tired of this. I am. Like, this used to happen constantly. This is one of the reasons why, back in the day, I couldn't deal with Twitch, and I went into YouTube for fucking 2 years. Because, at least on YouTube, you know, the chat was much more manageable. And I understand that you guys want to have a fun chat. I want to have a fun and open chat, but we have to be chill. We can't just be fucking bringing up fucking negative shit, memes, bullying people, and harping on dead shit. I'm tired of it.
To be entertaining. Be entertaining. And then they can focus on that instead of what is very much the mundane existence that is a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month, year-to-year DSP stream. Until you figure that out, then the only thing you're going to have is drama, because that's the only way to get a real reaction out of you. Just saying. And this isn't hard to figure out. Maybe if he watched his own material, he would understand. He doesn't. But if he did, maybe he would understand. Oh, I lied. He does watch it. For the ads. My bad. That was factually incorrect. DSP News.
What the fuck? Sidella has not been in the stream chat for weeks to months. Alright? Regardless if he's in here as a fucking sock account, I don't know that. And he's done nothing to do anything negative, so what the fuck are we doing this for? Why are we acting like little children? Grow the fuck up, man. Enough. And then you piss off a guy.
I don't know that, but he hasn't done anything wrong, so why are we bringing that up? Okay, let's keep that in mind.
Who's been nothing but positive, who's been supportive of the channel for 2 fucking straight months. You piss him off and he leaves because you gotta be fucking, you know, negative drama dicks. Well, fuck you. Get the fuck out for good then. Alright, One Man's Journey, who I suspected was a troll for days, is a troll and he's gone. Get the fuck out.
Okay, I did call that. Sorry about that, man. I wasn't sure.
I'm having enough of this. I really am. I'm having enough of this. We're gonna clean fucking house right now. These people who are, oh, I pretend to be a positive supporter, but then I bring up this shit and it derails everything. No.
Cleaning house right now is like figuring out that is like trying to figure out how to wash clothes after your girlfriend for 5 years just left you. Oops, sorry, you've already done that. Let's be honest, Phil. Like, you can't clean up house. You know what I'm saying? Because you're always gonna go with what you know. Hence the reason why Jake's still back was able to come back before the evening stream ended. Actually, I think even before the first stream ended. It's what you do. Phil would much rather have a familiar face or a familiar name or whatever the case may be show up to him than have a new one. When someone new pops up, he gets nervous. But when it's someone new, troll or not, he's okay with that because he has an understanding, or at least he thinks he has an understanding, of what to expect. And that's why he lacks social skills. This is why he's not a people person. Whether you find Phil entertaining or not, that's all up to you. I'm not here to change that. What I am here to do, though, is point out the quirks and twitches that he has. And then you yourself justify what it is. All I'm here to do is show you his tendencies. And then you decide what you want to do with that. I point out his flaws because that's all he perpetuates. That's all he produces consistently. If he could make money off flaws and failure, he'd be rich. He'd be beyond rich. He could very well be the new Rockefeller if that was the case. Sadly for him, it's not. And until someone can get through to him to get it together, I don't think he's got another 20 years left in him. Just saying. And I don't think Twitch is definitely going to have another 20 years left in it. So, just saying. You care about Phil? You might want to tell him to really start making some changes before he loses everything. Because, please believe, he's not safe. Even if he's not kicked off of Twitch, he doesn't need Twitch turning into the new YouTube. Because if, and this is only an if, Twitch comes to the realization that the TOS is just way too much bullshit and they need to kind of reel that shit back a little bit, and maybe they take a real look at some of the cases of people being banned over dumb shit and they start to reel that shit back a little bit, he's going to have a real problem when certain individuals decide to come back on, which would only perpetuate other people to come back on too. Or if Twitch don't work and he have to come back to YouTube and he don't want to come back to the Coliseum, he don't want that. Then the only place he can go is Mixer, and he definitely don't want that, because there's plenty of those detractors over there too. They've made it. They're making themselves a nice little foothold over there. So where is he going to go? And more importantly, what is he going to do?
It does, guys. It just frustrates me. It just frustrates the fuck out of me. It does, man. How many times have I said? How many times have I said that this is a place where we're just supposed to be chill and have fun with each other and relax? And if everyone would just do that instead of being fucking dicks to each other, then we wouldn't have these problems. But we gotta have the people who gotta stir this every day. They're in there. They gotta have the snide remark about me or my content. They gotta say the really biting nonsense, the real sarcastic shit. They gotta try to be fucking nasty to other people in the stream. It's like, come on, man. What the fuck? Alright, here we go. Paradox Fury said, I'm upset that you're sad. Keep positive. You're right. And Gracie you did 100 cheers said chill. You're right. I gotta chill. I gotta try. Now you got me all worked up before I even started playing games. I gotta get out of my system, you know? I gotta get that shit out of my system now so that I don't get all pissed off all day. Angels. I really don't. At this point in my life, I have no patience for this shit. Especially, and the thing is, especially when things are going good, you know what I mean? Things have been going so positively good recently. So positive and good. And for that to not maybe fall apart because of the actions of a few immature assholes, you know? I just can't. I don't want stuff to fall apart. We've been doing so good. Streams have been outstanding, incredibly supportive.
It's falling apart because you weren't willing to take responsibility. It's falling apart because instead of you expecting other people to do what you're supposed to do, you should have did it yourself. You went ahead and threw the responsibility on other people, and those other people, guess what, Phil? They have agendas. And Swagginz, especially Swagginz, has, if I had to guess, has been looking to bump off Tut for a little while. If I had to guess. Because if I was Swagginz, I would be rather pissed off that I've thrown all that money at you and barely caught a response. Certainly didn't get a decent one. At first he was, but then after that, he was just treated like the proverbial hoe. She's there at any time that you need her, so I don't have to treat her special. And that's what he's been relegated to. If I was him, I'd be a little pissed off. Then again, if I was him, or if he was me, he wouldn't have given this guy money in the first place, but whatever.
And even though YouTube has been sucking, even though for 2 straight months, basically nothing positive has come out of YouTube, the streams have been so much awesomeness. Just think about this. 600 people were gifted subscriptions and have been able to use all the emotes, and people have been coming out to streams and being positive because of the positive vibe we get, and then because of some immature asshole coming here and bringing up drama shit now that might end. It's like, what the fuck, man? You know? And the thing is, I can't control it. What can I do? Right? I have no control out of that. None of it. I can't do anything about it because I'm just a content creator. I can't babysit every fucking person of the hundreds of people on the stream every day, and it pisses me the fuck off. It does. I can't have it anymore. I'm done. I'm done with this shit. When I see it, that's it. And this is the bottom line. No more, oh, Phil's over-moderating and Phil's, fuck it. Because look what happens when I don't, right? When I have a hands-off approach, people can't behave. So fuck it. You want to be like that? You're not going to be here no more. I'm just done with it, you know? I can't have it. We're here, we're trying to have fun, and everyone trying to enjoy positivity, and you gotta have the fucking people who have to be negative and toxic and stir the shit. I can't have them be here anymore, you know? I just can't. I just can't have it. I'm not gonna have us all be negatively affected by the actions of a small few who can't fucking behave. So, Jake likes cats, good fucking riddance. I'm done with it.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That was great. Oh my god. I got to hear his voice. It was a Muppet. I killed a Muppet. Oh my god. How am I going to concentrate for the rest of this match?
Net call.
Oh my god.
Detected. Safe zone evac orders are in effect.
Oh, I can't concentrate. Oh my god. Oh, I went for Cookie and he shot me when I went for Cookie. Oh la la la.
I'm assuming that's forced. I'm assuming. Because if if it's real, it just makes it that much more sad. I like to believe it's forced. For his sake, not mine.
I can't stop laughing. No. I wanted to play Blackout and the cookie ran out. Oh.
Sitrep, circle collapse imminent. Get to safety.
Oh no. What pasta do you prefer? I prefer a penne. Oh. Easy to eat. Oh. Phil's a faggot. Phil's fat. Phil's a loser. Phil's a beggar. Phil's a racist. Phil's a scammer. DSP's a pedophile. DSP is a thief. DSP is a greedy fuck.
This guy's a bitch.
I have a micro penis.
Now, that right there is probably how he really feels if he can't get Tut back. If he, for whatever reason, cannot convince Tut to take him back. Please take me back, Tut. If he can't convince him, he's royally fucked. He is royally fucked. Because, as I've said, Phil is a very, very needy type of individual. It's in his nature in a lot of ways. He needs attention. He needs a whole lot of attention. He needs recognition. And when he gets something, especially when he gets financial support, he definitely needs support. But when he needs financial support, he expects it. And he gets in a real, real bad way without it. Kind of like somebody, for example, who hasn't been laid in a while. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're a guy, you know you need your medicine. So, you know what I'm saying? You get into a kind of bad way if it's been a while for you. Well, Dave is the same way about money. And that's the reason why that filly of his is going to end up falling in the hands of somebody else eventually. Just saying. Either that or she goes back to her previous boyfriend. There you go. So, he's in a real, real silly spot. You know what I'm saying? I'm anxious to see what the pre-stream is going to be like today and what he's going to say, because he has to reassure the rest of the cult that everything's going to be okay, while behind the scenes praying to God Tut comes back. Because there's a lot of people who, by just the nature of Phil, have become dependent on King Tut also. So let's try to look at the bigger picture for a second. It's not just Phil. There's a lot of people in that community who like Tut and who appreciate what he did. And in a little while, it's going to be gone. So what does that mean for the fan base? So now that 1,100 plus subscriber count that he has is going to dwindle down like 300 or 400 in the span of like a month or so, if even that long. Oh boy, let's continue.
Alright, I'm not dead, but I swear to God, I wish I fucking was.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going into the Mr. Huff Stuff video, which, my bad. That's this one I'm expecting to be good. Let me go ahead and just make some minor adjustments on the fly here, because I am totally a professional. I'm not really a professional. Yeah, I am a professional. Don't ever question it. I'm just kidding. You can question it. Oh boy. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into this Mr. Huff Stuff video and further the greatness.
Like scats. LOL, see that's Sidella, he only spaces on bad words. Tutankhamun, Sidella, WTF is that? Jake like scats at Tutankhamun, Google him, LOL, trust me Tut. Tutankhamun at Jake like scats DSP Twitch community is bizarre and frightening. Jake like scats at Tutankhamun, it's rough out here brother. Tutankhamun at Jake like scats, thank you for successfully ostracizing me from this community. Tutankhamun at Jake like scats, I don't want to align myself and socialize with this community anymore. Tutankhamun at Jack_Spartacus, I'm too mature for this kind of miscreant behavior. Swagginz at Tutankhamun, too mature, but spams black man emotes. Bobby_Ling, Swagginz hates Tut.
You damn right he has. And here's the thing. So, as we're getting into this video, I don't know about you guys, but Swagginz has probably been waiting for this moment. He's patiently probably been waiting for this moment. Now, I don't know what made him think he was going to be able to keep up with Tut in the fact of like just financial backing. I don't know what makes him think he's going to be able to do that, and I'm anxious to see if he's going to put himself, is he going to live out of a closet also just to try to keep Phil financially secure? In any case, excuse me. In any case, what made him think this was a good idea? It doesn't spotlight Swagginz anymore. You know, it's not like Swagginz is all of a sudden going to be the man again. You weren't the man before Tut got there. You were already, your stock was already in decline. So what are you going to do now? And even though Phil isn't brave enough to blame Swagginz because he needs Swagginz, obviously, even though he doesn't respect him, he needs him. So Phil's not brave enough to discard him. What else can you really do, Swagginz, moving forward? Especially since Phil doesn't have to blame you. The guys and the people in the chat will. When all the benefits and everything go away, when Phil goes back to, as we're getting into the holiday season, ladies and gentlemen, when Phil starts getting to this holiday begging and those pre-streams either become longer and longer, or you see him underperform. Underperform. Oh, I'm sorry. When he starts underperforming on these streams day in, day out because there's not enough money coming through, what are you going to do then, Swagginz? Just saying. What's going to be the solution then? What's the game plan, kiddo? I'm dying to hear it. I'm dying to hear it because I can give you an idea of what's going to happen, Swagginz. I can give you a massive idea of how that's going to play out, which is only going to demote you even further. Not out of your mod ship. You can keep that. It shit ain't worth anything anyway, and you paid for it, so that's whatever. And everybody knows you paid for it, so you damn sure don't have anything as pertains to that. But what could very well happen is either A, someone else steps in his place, or B, Tut comes back. And if Tut comes back, like I said, Phil isn't going to get rid of you. But he's certainly going to limit what you can and cannot do. And that's like the last vestiges of whatever power that you actually had. So then what? You're going to double and triple up your cheers just so he can be like, thanks, Swagginz, thanks for being a good bitch. Oh, King Tut. Oh, King Tut just went ahead and gifted 200 more subs. Thank you, King Tut, man. We really appreciate it here. You're I don't know what I would do without you, King Tut. I just don't know. Has he ever said that about you, Swagginz? I don't think he's ever said that about Tut, but I know that's what he's thinking about. But has he ever said that about you, Swagginz, at all? And if other people are reaching out to you and expressing their concern, you might want to, next time, you might want to actually take some consideration to it. Just some friendly advice from your typical detractor. Let me get back on my meds.
At Bobby_Ling, that's not true. Without him we wouldn't have extra emote slots. Thana Swagginz at Tutankhamun, this is a one-of-a-kind community. The best on Twitch. Jake like scats, why you leaving Tut?
One-of-a-kind community, the best on Twitch. That's beautiful. That might be the quote of the day. That might be the quote of the day.
Tutankhamun at Jake like scats LTG community is more amenable and welcoming. Tutankhamun at Jake like scats, I am simply trying to separate myself from this kind of behavior. Tutankhamun at Jake like scats, I honestly have too much to lose. Tutankhamun, the funny things, it's not Phil, it's actually this community. Crazy dream at Tutankhamun, it's a package deal. We come with the product.
That right there is insane. I mean, and the thing is, it's insane, but it's not insane because this individual said it. But it's insane because it's true. It's true because Phil can't just ban people outright who's been there long enough to where he's comfortable with them. So all he's kind of doing is perpetuating this whole kind of circle of hate, and it's just going to be constant setback after setback after setback. So when you start bringing these whales in here with this big money and whatnot, if at any time they fall into a situation that that King Tut falls into, they're just going to leave. And then what? And then they're right back to square one. And their moral support and financial support is obviously not enough, because DSP has admitted up to this point that the last 2 months, because of King Tut, he's dependent on him. He needs him. He needs him. So if you're a DSP supporter before Tut's reign, if you will, you should feel a certain type of way about that. You should feel used. You should feel taken advantage of. Because that's exactly what happened. And one man who decided to come in here and just try to spread some of his wealth out for whatever reason has demoted all of you guys to basically doormats. How do you feel about that? If you feel anything. It's a rhetorical question.
Swagginz at Tutankhamun. This community has shown nothing but respect to you, dog. Why so serious? Tutankhamun at Crazy Dream. Exactly, that's the problem. Tutankhamun at Thanos. Swagginz, you are the most condescending and irreverent towards me in this chat. Tutankhamun, I must go now. Thanos. Swagginz at Tutankhamun. That is factually incorrect, bro. Weeb_Tumas, it's a civil war at DarkSydePhil at Tutankhamun and at Thanos. Swagginz are fighting. Thanos. Swagginz at Weeb_Tumas. No, we're not. I never said anything bad. I'm just as confused as everyone else. Thanos. Swagginz, CHER25. Check the logs, Phil. I don't even know what's happening. Thanos. Swagginz at Shirtless Mofo. It's all in the logs. I'm not worried about anything.
By the way, I have absolutely no idea what's going on in the stream chat. I wouldn't read
that, ladies and gentlemen, was hilarious. That was absolutely hilarious. Imagine that. You know, Phil was essentially presented with the golden ticket. The blank check, if you will. And he fucked it up. He literally pissed it away. Because of what? To protect a couple of assholes who can't meet up, or who can't meet up nor match what your recent benefactors bring to the table? And potentially what King Tut could have brought to the table in the future? Wow. All right, let's continue.
Doing all these shout outs, and I go back into the stream chat, and now it looks like we've got people arguing or something. What the hell's going on? I'm like totally behind everything going on here. I have no clue what's going on. What I will say is this: if there is a situation, people please contact me directly. You know, mods, let me know what's going on. Tutankhamun, if you have an issue, please email me. We've talked before. Let's see what the hell's going on. I have no idea. I'm here reading shout-outs, and I come back, and I see everyone's, like, upset at each other. So, please, it would be nice if we could all just talk and figure out what the hell's going on. You gotta understand, I'm doing a pre-stream. I don't even know what the hell's happening here. I come back, and next thing I know, people seem upset at each other. So, all right. Shout out to
now, is it just me, or do you guys feel, you guys hear, and in turn feel this kind of daycare, you know, even elementary school type atmosphere? Like, he sounds like a stressed out teacher that's going through a fucking divorce, that's lost control of his classroom, and things are slowly but surely going awry, and he just doesn't know it yet. He sounds like someone who is literally at his wit's end in a lot of ways. And in turn, the very children that he says that are not in his fan base, that are not in his community, who don't show up to his streams, are starting to look more and more like what people have suspected that they really are. Imagine that. DSP News.
Slime, and here we go. Insulting cheer. He's an idiot, and he's now gonna get banned, right? Or is he banned already? Let me see. I just banned him. There you go. Yeah, I know. It's like I tell you guys every day. I have nothing to do with this drama. You notice I have nothing to do with any of it. So here I am doing a pre-stream. I finally click back to the stream chat. I look, right? And there's drama. And I'm like, I have nothing to do with this. I have nothing to do with this drama. I can't, I'm sorry guys. I can't be here to micromanage the stream every moment. And I do rely heavily on my moderators to do a good job because I can't be here every moment. And I'm especially doing
now, wait a second. In the last video, there's a reason why we're going over this again like this. Because there's little things that I tend to miss. So it kind of helps. But didn't he just say at the end of the last video that he's going to start having a much more hands-on approach because he doesn't want situations like this to happen. But in the beginning, which I did catch that, but in the beginning he's saying that I can't micromanage, I can't do this, I can't do that, that's why I depend on other people to do it. But didn't he just ban that person too right there just a minute ago? So how busy are you? And in turn, why didn't anybody else within his own community, I should say, not catch this? Alrighty, let's continue.
Stuff. I can't be doing a shout out for my Muxie while also micromanaging the stream chat and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I don't know what the hell's going on. I just don't know. And sadly, you know, I really don't want to be like. He was really nervous. Just said, "You're the dad. You have to take care of these kids." I have nothing to do. I have nothing to do with this, guys. I have nothing to do with this. You know, I can't. I can't hear everyone to know exactly what's going on 100% of the time in the chat. I can't.
My bad.
So, like I said, what I would hope would happen is if there really is problems that people would contact me and we'll talk about it and figure it out. Rather than people now arguing in the stream chat, and then I come back and, oh, well, everyone's upset. Everyone's upset at everyone. That's nice. Well, what happened? The fuck happened? I was giving shout-outs to people who were happy. You know?
Which is one of the, since he's going to have a little bit of dead air there, which is only fair because I have a little bit of dead air there too. Which is one of the problems one of the ongoing problems that's going on over there is the fact that you have to pay. You have to pay to have a positive environment. It's bad enough that you're already paying for entertainment, which is what you're doing. You're paying Phil to be entertained, but then you have to pay for the environment also. It's like you going to a movie, right? You're going to a movie. You pay for the ticket. You pay for the popcorn and soda and everything, and then the fucking place is a fucking mess. So then you have to pay the busboy or the usher. You have to pay the usher to sit there and like fucking vacuum your seat, vacuum the floors around you, and vacuum some of the other, maybe even down your whole entire aisle before the movie even starts, just so you can feel comfortable. That's essentially what he provides. And then the movie's shit. The movie shit, the popcorn's stale, the soda's flat, and the candy's probably expired. So you're out $30-40 for what? Annoying. Very annoying.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know. Well, anyway, thanks for your cheers. One man's journey to Zerial, Swagginz. Thank you. What can I do? All I can do is continue on. You know what I mean? Crazy Dream did 100-bit chooses. No one's blaming you. I would hope not. But the problem is, you know, people getting upset. And then this is the problem. This is the truth. Is I can't be everywhere at all times. And I can't micromanage every single person in a community. I mean, think about earlier this year what happened. We had a moderator who went rogue, went against my wishes, went out, stirred the pot with detractors, caused both himself and others to get hurt by his actions, and somehow it negatively comes off on...
First off, let's be honest about the situation. I've already gone over what Vidal ended up doing. Let's talk about the aftermath of that. How you guys lied and said that that nobody on that forum was in danger, no one was exposed, it was an idle threat, it was bullshit, until that first guy got exposed. And then until other names allegedly was kind of sprinkled out there of who had what. And then you, Phil, as well as some of the other people on your forums, was basically begging people to stay on while people were like, hey, I want to get off this website. I want to get off this forum. How exposed am I? I remember distinctly someone asking, Phil, how exposed am I? And KG was like, oh, no, you're fine. It's just an idle threat. This is before the first guy ended up getting doxxed. Remember that, Phil? Remember how you lied and said, oh, I have nothing on you. All I have is your email, and that's it. I don't have anything else on you. Come to find out, you had a whole lot more than that. And for those who remembered, back to that, whole fan art situation with BAwesomeOne, I believe it's BAwesomeOne, you even said that you had his IP address from your forums. And you were considering using it to dox him. But yet again, selective memory. Revitalizing. We're going ahead and revisiting, redoing our history here a little bit. That whole situation could have been avoided yet again. But when you guys couldn't avoid it, revisionary history, sorry, you could have just been honest with people and told them what the deal was. And theoretically, you could say Phil did. Phil was like, well, you guys got to be careful what website you go to. You guys got to be careful where you go, so on and so forth, because that could put you in a bad spot. That was him literally saying, if you're on my website, you're kind of fucked. And that's the only reason why he ended up throwing Brightside to the wolves anyways, to save everybody else. But the problem is there was already a casualty of war at that point. There was already a collateral damage. And not just to that individual in general, but to the website in general. It proved that that place wasn't safe. And that's why, if you actually decide to go over to the forums, don't sign up. Just go over there and look. It's the same usual suspects. It's the same handful of people talking to themselves about a whole lot of nothing. Because they don't have nothing to say. That's all it is. And he did that to himself. DSPNEWS.
On me. I had nothing to do with any of it. But somehow I'm the one with his balls being held over the fire because of the actions of others. It's bullshit, right? So now things have been going good, right? Things these past couple of months have been great. I had two of the best streaming months I ever had. This month, September, has been pretty good. Things are looking up, right? We got positivity. We got people getting gifted subs and everything. Why do people then have to fucking deteriorate into now we're all going to hate each other and now it's all, you know what I mean? I'm putting out entertaining streams. That's all I can do. I can't control everyone else. I can't. And, you know, it frustrates me that we may have a situation where now people are upset and go, oh, I'm not going to come back anymore because this happened. I had nothing to fucking do with it, you know? I don't know why people just can't act normal and not have these fucking ridiculous disagreements. You know what I mean? Jig Likes Cat says, Tut left because of Sidella. So where the fuck is Sidella? Sidella hasn't been in stream chat for like over a month, dude. So why don't you shut the fuck up? And I mean that, Jig Likes Cats, because you're one of the people who constantly stirs the shit. You're the one who brings up Sidella more than anyone. No one fucking cares. The guy's not even in here anymore. And you're the one who brings him up on a daily basis. So how about you shut the fuck up and stop causing
Sounds like
shit?
the Strahan affected me. Why are you spazzing the fuck out, first off and foremost, if he's really gone? Second, it's obvious that everybody knows he's still in there. So maybe, instead of you having him out there spazzing the fuck out, meaning having Alex out there doing his dumb shit, you reel his ass back in a little bit and you just tell everybody to chill. instead of what you're doing currently, which is just making yourself look like a total nut, and more importantly than that, confirming what people had already knew. You spazzing on this guy made no sense. And then, to make it even more hilarious, you invited him back anyway. He was banned for however long he was banned, an hour, maybe two, and then he was right back in the saddle again. And you were bitching and complaining because other people who are mods or other people who have any type of influence on Phil, on his platform over there on Twitch, are buddies with him, and it's just what happens. It's what the situation is. Jake has enough clout to get himself out of pretty much any situation and right back into the saddle. So all that bravado that came out of you talking all that hot shit meant nothing in the end. And that in itself is probably one of the biggest takeaways you can take from DSP. His word means nothing. Not even to himself. You're saying this kid has been banned 4 or 5 times, and yet he keeps coming back, which shows me that the people there don't have a lot of respect for you, especially the people that are in a position of power. Swagginz is a good example of that. Alex is a good example of that, because they should know how important King Tut was to you, unless they didn't even know how much money that you were making off him, even if they didn't have an understanding of what was really being brought in. And then that might explain some things. But like I said, I think Swagginz was gunning for him anyway. So I'm not saying it was necessarily a collaboration between Swagginz and Sidella. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is that Swagginz certainly took advantage of his opportunities when it came about. It's not too far off the mark. DSP News.
And I mean that, too, because you've been banned multiple times for causing shit in here. So maybe you should fucking stop. You know? I'm tired. I'm seriously tired of it. Here I am, trying to put on a fun stream, and I got to deal with these fucking people causing shit constantly. You know? Jake, how would anyone know if he's here on a sock unless you brought it up? How would anyone know that unless you brought it up? You're the one who's causing the problem here. You. Yes, you. Because you're the one who constantly...
So he was supposed to sit back and just plead ignorance and just let Sidella run around all silly without any repercussions whatsoever. Sidella Unchained, if you will. I know he's going to hate that reference, but it's fitting. That's what this was going to be? And you were okay with that. And it's obvious that you're okay with it because I can hear a level of nervousness in your voice. Like you really don't want him to be letting the cat out the bag. Hence the reason why you went on this shit campaign of him anyway. You went on this shit campaign against him anyway. Only to let him back in. Wow.
This shit up. How the fuck would anyone know? I don't know how you can't see that you're the problem. You're the one who brings it up on a daily basis. You're the one who turned this poor guy into a fucking meme to begin with. Not just you, but you and a bunch of others, but you're part of the problem, man.
This goes back to what I said earlier about how powerless he is. Look at him. He's shitting on the guy, but in a lot of ways he's almost pleading with him to stop because he knows he can't ban him. He can't ban him permanently, I should say. He can only hit him with the temporary. That's kind of sad if you think about it. He has no control even on his streams amongst certain individuals. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and throw a hypothesis out there. Is it possible that the reason why Phil bans people on the levels that he does is to keep certain people who may have more power than they should in check? It's obviously not fear. They probably laugh at that notion. So is that him just kind of flexing his muscle every once in a while to let them know that, hey, I will ban you, if I feel necessary. Even if you're brought back, I'm not playing. As in some way of trying to bring them to heel? Something to think about.
Here, I'll read the logs. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ban you, and I'm going to have you sit outside of the stream chat all day, and I guarantee you we won't have any drama. That's what we're going to do. We're going to have Jake sit outside of the stream chat, and we're going to have him just cool off, and see, because who brought up the fact? Oh, someone's sitting here on a fucking soccer account, and he was a racist and blah blah blah.
You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of when Lee Harvey Oswald was killed by Jack Ruby. What it sounds to me is someone who was about to talk, and someone else he had to get taken down before he actually did. That's what this reminds me of. It reminds me of that. It's Phil so desperate to shut Jake up that he was, well, he wasn't even willing to. He implemented putting him on suspension essentially for the day, just to keep him quiet so everybody else could forget, and then let him come back later. Wow, it's not even a good cover up. But Jesus Christ, he could have put a little bit more effort into it. Ban him for a week or something. Like, show some real gall. Show that this stream belongs to you, not to them. Silly pig. Tricks are for kids.
That up. You know? And this is what I mean. I'm trying to just have a fun stream, and I gotta deal with this stupid shit. I'm just tired of it. I can't babysit fucking kids, you know? I'm tired of people, you know, the truth is, I don't know how many times you can give someone a chance, because Jake's been now banned like 5-6 times for doing this same kind of shit. Like, we're all just here having, exactly, Augustus Ming, you came here to see Max Payne. We didn't come here, I'm doing a fun pre-stream. And then I fucking come back and there's all this drama. What happened? Well, someone called out that Sidella was on a soccer account, and he's this, and then he upset Tutankhamun, and what the fuck? Then get out. Get out and don't come back. If this is what you do in my stream chat, get out and don't come back. I don't want that shit anymore. And I'm serious. I'm putting my foot down at this point. I'm not putting up with this shit anymore.
Okay, so let's talk about another thing that's kind of bounced out at me. He says that I'm not going to sit there and deal with this anymore. So does it come down to the fact that, oh, well, he was making so much money at one time, so he was willing to tolerate it until now it's just getting out of control. He's lost a major whale. Basically, Phil's bleeding. So now all of a sudden, shit needs to be, you know, needs to be tidied up. Shit needs to kind of be put back into its place. When in turn, if he had done that from the beginning, he'd be in a much better spot. Maybe instead of worrying about one King Tut, he might have had 5 King Tuts. And maybe 10 or 15 Emperor Swagginz. He could have had all the Emperor Swagginz he wanted if he had played it smarter than that. You got to understand, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys don't already know, his income, his whole livelihood is based off this shit. And yet he does nothing to take care of it. He does nothing to preserve it. He does nothing to further it. Because that's somebody else's responsibility.
Doing it. I'm not gonna have people upset and people all angry at each other and shit, because you got people who just want to stir drama up. And you can hide behind your bullshit. Oh, it wasn't me, look at the law. Fuck you. I just saw you do it. You literally just did it. So enough is enough. Enough is enough. Yeah, I agree, ITG Jake. Jake Likes Cats is a huge shit stirrer. On a daily basis, he's a shit stirrer, and we don't need to stir shit anymore. Trust me, there's enough shit in the world. We don't need to stir shit into my stream. I've had enough.
Now, let's talk about another part of the spectrum here. I've spoken earlier about the people who actually like King Tut, who are going to miss him, and the benefits that he provided to the stream and to the community. I use that term loosely in general. Now, let's talk about the flip of that. Almighty Tevin pointed this out in his video. If you think about it, King Tut took an enormous shit on the majority of these people there, saying that he was basically better than they are. He may not be wrong. At least better than some of them, not all of them, but some of them. If Phil brings him back, what's going to happen to the portion of the fan base who takes that into consideration? Like, why the fuck would Phil bring this guy back after he shitted on us like that? Or maybe no one says anything at all, and they all bring back, they all allow Tut to come back with welcoming arms, or open arms, I should say. And why wouldn't they be? They get shitted on by Phil all the time anyway. You guys don't contribute enough. You guys aren't supportive enough. I'm giving you guys all this quality content, and none of you guys are contributing. None of you guys are appreciating it. This, that, and the third. I'm playing all these brand new releases, and you guys aren't showing up. No one's giving a shit. So on and so forth. It's starting to become a waste of my time. they've heard Phil talk about this. They've heard Phil say that just in this year alone. So with that being said, let's try to look at the glass as half full now. How are they going to deal with it if Tut does come back? And more importantly than dealing with Tut, because they wouldn't deal with him. They would have to deal with Phil. Phil officially has become the gatekeeper, or he will if King Tut comes back. How is he going to handle this situation moving forward? Let me go ahead and cut the bullshit and get to the point. How much is Phil willing to sacrifice to get Tut back? And then after that, how much is he willing to sacrifice to keep him? DSPNEWS.
And that's it. I'm putting my foot down. I'm done. If Jake wants to contact me, whatever, but I'm not fucking unbanning that guy. I had enough. And that goes for many of you, because I know there's a few people who like to do this shit in the stream chat. Oh, I know. Let's stir some more shit up. Let's get people upset. Haha, maybe we can upset Tutankhamun, because behind the scenes in reality, I don't like Phil. And if we can get Tutankhamun to not come in and support Phil anymore, then we'll get our jollies, because look at what we did. Well, fuck you. Get the fuck out of my chat then. I had enough. Enough is enough. Alright, Taziriel did 100-bit cheer. He says, glad for your positivity, but I also like to see detractors get wrecked. That's not what it's about. It's just about me trying to maintain a chat that's positive and fun. You know? How the hell is it that, you know, again, I'm having a positive, fun pre-stream. I come back and there's all this drama. I can't have this shit anymore. I'm tired of this. I am. Like, this used to happen.
Now, this goes back to what I said in my last video, or the video before, or broadcast, however you want to word that, on how more and more of what the chat and what Phil's Roach Nest followers do benefits him, and very little of that trickles down to everybody else. So in turn, Phil can sit there and say, I'm having a positive stream, I'm having this, I'm having that, so on and so forth, but what does the actual viewer get? It's not entertainment, we all know that. So what really are they taking away from this whole experience? If I had to guess, that's a negative one. Whether negative as in, wow, this guy's really as shitty as everybody says he is. B, holy shit, Phil's really changed and he's really just a toxic individual. C, this is a way of life. Phil can treat people like this and get away with it. Why can't I? You see how, you know what I'm saying? Like, you see how the nonsense can work out in his favor doing stuff like that, or doing stuff like this? And more importantly, how destructive he is to himself, to be honest. Because let's also be honest yet again, everybody else in his stream chat and his fan base are incidental. They're all disposable. Sorry. I hate to say that, but that's how he treats you. So it must be how you are. Perception is reality, right? And Phil, he's never wrong. And it's never his fault. It is what it is. And so how do you compete with that if you're a DSP fan? Or a supporter? Just saying.
This is one of the reasons why back in the day I couldn't deal with Twitch and I went into YouTube for fucking 2 years, because at least on YouTube, you know, the chat was more.
Oh yeah, Terry brought that up too, where one of the reasons why Phil left is because he doesn't like answering to people. You know that. He doesn't like answering to people. And on Twitch, that's what he felt like. He felt like he was at other people's beck and call, and they had something over him, so he had to do what they asked. And that's one of the reasons why he bailed on them. That's one of the reasons why he left. Because he just couldn't, he didn't like the idea of answering to somebody else. He couldn't deal with it. He just couldn't. And that in the chat was super toxic back then too. I don't know what's worse now, but there you go. And so I think, and the funny thing is as Tevin had pointed out, outside of the money being made, right? Besides all that sweet cash coming in, it's starting to slowly but surely revert back to the same toxic shit that it was. So what was it all worth? ESPN
And I understand that you guys want to have a fun chat. I want to have a fun and open chat, but we have to be chill. We can't just be fucking bringing up fucking negative shit, memes, bullying people, and harping on dead shit. I'm tired of it. What the fuck? Sidella has not been in the stream chat for weeks to months. All right? Regardless if he's in here as a fucking sock account, I don't know that. And he's done nothing to do anything negative. So what the fuck are we doing this for? Why are we acting like little children? Grow the fuck up, man. Enough. And then you piss off a guy who's been nothing but positive, who's been supportive of the channel for 2 fucking straight months. You piss him off and he leaves because you gotta be fucking, you know, negative drama dicks. Well, fuck you. Get the fuck out for good then. Enough is enough. Alright, One Man's Journey, who I suspected was a troll for days, is a troll and he's gone. Get the fuck out. I'm having enough of this. I really am. I'm having enough of this. We're gonna clean fucking house right now. These people who are, oh, I pretend to be a positive.
Who are you trying to convince, Dave? Seriously. Like, who are you really convincing with this? Especially since Jake ended up coming back later on. He was back in, talking it back up with everybody else. So, what good was any of this? Is that whole cleaning up and all that bravado? You were wasting your breath. No one cared. You yourself didn't even really care enough if you went ahead and took him back. And that's one of the major problems that people have with Phil. Because, you know, if you can't hold your word to anything, even to yourself, then what good are you? Because if you can't keep your word to yourself, then you definitely can't keep it to other people. If you can't keep it in the other people or keep it to other people, you can't garner support. People can't respect you because they can't trust you. You know? So what do you do then? Like I said, you're seeing Phil in a very vulnerable situation, in his personal hug box where he's supposed to feel safe, where he's supposed to have control. I thought Twitch was great, and he was supposed to be immune to this bullshit. And it looks to me like he's just in there with the rest of the prisoners, and you know, he's got to take what he's going to take, because it's not like he can go to solitary. He can't. He would just have to stop streaming. And Lord knows he can't do that. So what's he going to do? And this is what I've said over the last couple of videos. What is he really going to do when his back's against the wall? He's damn near begging and pleading. And trying to show a little bit of bravado. Trying to show a little bit of backbone. But who's going to believe it? DSPNEWS.
But then I bring up this shit and it derails everything. No, enough. Alright, can we please now? Can we calm the fuck down? And can we have a fun stream about gaming? Which is what this is supposed to be. Instead of being a waste of fucking time with drama and shit. You know? I mean that, like, I just want to sit here and play games and have fun. I don't see why this nonsense has to come with it. I've told you guys a million times. And by the way, to those of you who have nothing to do with this, thank you. Thank you for being here and hanging out and being positive. I apologize that we even have to derail a fucking stream with this nonsense. I have no patience for this anymore. I just don't, man. You know, I just want to play games and have fun. I don't want to have this nonsense happen where people who are just here to have fun are now annoyed. People who are big supporters are pissed off. This is bullshit. I'm not going to have it anymore. I'm not.
It's like a combination of trying to show some authority and pleading. And begging, even, if you will. And it's sad. It's really, really sad that this is what it's come down to. A man who says he loves games, who really doesn't, is now begging and pleading on his own stream, on his own hug box, to please play games just because he wants to take his mind off all the money he just lost. Imagine that.
I've had it. All right. I think the best way to approach it, to move forward here, is to just move forward positively, guys. And to jump into Max Payne. By the way, shout out to Dooley, who did a 100-bit cheer. And Moonwalkman cheered. He says, I don't know what happened, but have fun, Phil. Yeah, well, that's what we're about to do. Okay? Okay. What happened? Your guess is as good as mine, B. Brian. I was doing a fun pre-stream. I was doing shout-outs. I come back, and everyone in stream chat's upset at each other. Tutankhamun is saying, I don't want to come here anymore. I'm like, what the fuck happened? I was doing a pre-stream, I come back and everyone's attitudes has flipped, and now I find out there's people who are like being bullies and you know, attacking each other and just being drama queens. I had enough of it. And I'm putting my foot down. I'm not putting up with this shit anymore. You know? Alright. I gotta get off this tangent because I'm getting angry. Yeah, I don't want to get angry. I want to have a fun stream, you know? It does, guys. It just frustrates me. It just frustrates the fuck out of me. It does, man. How many times have I said? How many times have I said that this is a place where we're just supposed to be chill and have fun with each other and relax? And if everyone would just do that instead of being fucking dicks to each other, then we wouldn't have these problems. But we gotta have the people who...
But see, yet again, he perpetuated this environment. It's him who... He's literally reaping what he sowed. You sat there and treated that shit like it was the Wild West. You treated it like it was some type of war, like you were some type of warlord or some shit. You sat there and sat there and introduced mods who basically ran around like common criminals. Of course shit's going to be in disarray. Of course it is. Sorry, that's the editor. Just a second.
Every day they're in there. They got to have the snide remark about me or my content. They got to say the really biting nonsense, the real sarcastic shit. They got to try to be fucking nasty to other people in the stream. It's like, come on, man. What the fuck? Alright, here we go. Paradox Cheers said, I'm upset that you're sad. Keep positive. You're right. And Crazy you did 100-bit cheers. Said chill. You're right. I gotta chill. I gotta try. Now you got me all worked up before I even started playing games. I gotta get out of my system. You know. I gotta get that shit out of my system now so I don't.
Alright, sorry about that, guys. This is the editor asking where the video's at. It's coming. I'm working on it in real time. Jesus Christ. That's why the company's logo is always late, never breaking. Anyway, he perpetuated all this. This is all on him. And it's starting, and the thing is, it's starting to hit him in a real negative way that's very, very obvious to him. He can't avoid it, and he knows it. And all it did was translate into his gameplay. And that's why you look at the first couple of episodes of Max Payne, or I guess he's still doing long streams, long videos. The first, I say, 15, 20, 25 minutes of it, it's miserable. And he's complaining over the smallest shit, because what else was he going to do? That's how frustrated he was. That's how angry he was. And the majority of that anger was at himself. He knew he screwed the pooch on this. He knew it. Sadly, he just wasn't man enough to say it. DSPNEWS.
All day. I really don't. At this point in my life, I have no patience for this shit. Especially, and the thing is, especially when things are going good. You know what I mean? Things have been going so positively good recently.
If it was going that good, why did this little situation, this little skirmish in what I like to call the Galtopia Civil War, why was that enough to get Tut out of here? Because if you really think about it, if we're really, really honest with ourselves, Tut was probably wanting to make his exit for a while. He's felt this way, I'd say, for at least a couple of weeks. He's probably really looked at it and looked at the situation and was like, man, what did I get myself into? He's like, I'm throwing all this money out. I'm enabling all of these people to get an opportunity to do this, and it doesn't mean anything. And it didn't, sadly. It really didn't. Outside of dollar signs, all the extra perks and everything that everybody else was getting, except outside of just, a handful of people maybe, it didn't mean shit to anybody. You have a moderator who sat there and screwed the pooch and broke the piggy bank. And what for? And if that one situation was enough to get Tut out of there, right? It makes you wonder, what has he been thinking about over the last couple weeks? There had to have been something that preceded that had to precede this to cause this breakdown. And I don't know if Phil's going to be able to get him back. And if he does, he's not going to get him back right away, which means he's going to be in a world of hurt, coming up into this holiday season. Because I guarantee you, he was depending on Tut for the holiday season. He was depending on it. I don't know if he was going to try to pull some slick shit like, oh, Kat is going on, going on holiday, or she's going to go and visit her family and so on and so forth. So I'm really all by myself, guys, and it's really just me, and I got to pay for the flight. I got to pay for this, that, and the third, and, she, this, that, and all this, that, all the odds and ends or whatnot. So, I could really use you guys' support right now. And then taxes. Remember, the tax scheme is still out there. So, guys, I really need to try to get this money together for next year. As you know, I got taxes due in April. And as you guys know, I pay my taxes 4 times a year, or whatever dumb shit he tried to say earlier this year. And so on and so forth. All of the things that you guys heard about last year is going to, it should, given Phil's cycle, should come back around this year. And hence the reason why we're going to revisit the holiday season from last year and compare it to this year as we move along, because it's going to be interesting, especially for some of you who are new to all of this, you know what I mean, or just kind of casual watchers, I should say. You're going to actually get to see what this pig is up to and what he's been up to and how he kind of sews his schemes together. It's amazing, and you'll be even more amazed at how these people keep falling for it. So if you're King Tut, you're probably very, very happy to cut ranks and break out while you could. And I don't know what he saw in that Sidella Google search, but it must have been something disturbing, to say the very least. DSPNEWS.
Good. And for that to not maybe fall apart because of the actions of a few immature assholes, I just can't. I don't want stuff to fall apart. We've been doing so good. Streams have been outstanding, incredibly supportive, and even though YouTube has been sucking, even though for 2 straight months basically nothing positive has come out of YouTube, the streams have been so much awesomeness. Just think about this. 600 people were gifted subscriptions and have been able to use all the emotes, and people have been coming out to streams and being positive because of the positive vibe we get. And then because of some immature asshole coming here and bringing up drama shit now that might end, it's like, what the fuck, man? And the thing is, I can't control it. What can I do, right? I have no control out of that. None of it. I can't do anything about it because I'm just the content creator. I can't babysit every fucking person of the hundreds of people on the stream every day. And it pisses me the fuck off. It does. I can't have it anymore. I'm done. I'm done with this shit. When I see it, that's it. And this is the bottom line. No more, Phil's over moderating and Phil's fuck it. Because look what happens when I don't, right? When I have a hands-off approach, people can't behave. So fuck it. You want to be like that? You're not going to be here no more. I'm just done with it, I can't have it. We're here. We're trying to have fun, and everyone trying to enjoy positivity. And you got to have the fucking people who have to be negative and toxic and stir the shit. I can't have them be here anymore, I just can't. I just can't have it. I'm not going to have us all be negatively affected by the actions of a small few who can't fucking behave. So, Jake likes cats, good fucking riddance. I'm done with it. Okay. Now
sounds like bullshit bravado, and it accomplished nothing. Yet again, the man breeds failure. He breeds failure. He is so dependent now on what people think of him, rather him being him. They don't even see, when you look at DSP, right? If you want to try to deep dive this a little bit, you don't even see Phil Burnell anymore. You see the image that he tries to put up. If you can see past that bullshit, then you see who Phil really is, right? But even then, there's still another layer to it. So the real DSP is more than likely some vulnerable, scared little punk who has to sit behind strong words to look big, to seem intimidating, to project some form of authority, when in actuality, he's scared to death. He's scared to death with that house. He's scared to death with YouTube, because trust me, he cares about YouTube more than you'll ever really know. He's scared to death that he's slowly but surely fucking himself over on Twitch. He's scared that some of his private conversations with some of these guys is going to get leaked. He's scared of all of these things. And his inner circle, if you will, is slowly but surely shrinking. And as that circle shrinks more and more and more, he becomes more and more dependent on those people within that small circle, which is only going to stress them out and then cause them to break ranks. And when they do break ranks eventually, then that's when the real flood of shit comes out. And he doesn't see it. And it's not hard to see. This isn't rocket scientist, or this isn't rocket science. It's all there, right in front of you. You are fucking up. Admit it now. Cut your losses. Try to regroup. Because eventually, the fan base can't carry the dead weight. And you. They're going to have to pick one or the other. And when they choose, either choice is going to fuck you over in the end anyway, Phil. Like I said, you can call me a brain dead detractor if you want. But I'm not... I haven't been off yet. Theo hasn't been off yet. Argent, Tevin, Snort, Burnell, Mr. Huffstuffs, Memology 101, Mighty D, James the Lesser. These guys haven't been off yet. You're fucking up. And it's getting worse and worse. And Tut is a blow. It's a blow that he doesn't necessarily feel yet, but it's a blow. When the holidays come around, he's going to show his ass. He better pray he can get Kat to show hers. Because if not, shit's going to get real. Oh.
Please play Max Payne. Now, please.
Look at this compelling gameplay, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely compelling.
Alright. Yes, Jake was banned like 4 times before. Yes, he was. Alright, are we ready? Fuck. Seriously. Alright.
And see, I know a lot of people were trying to get a hold of the feed that has his chat in it. And as you know, Phil deletes that shit right away. Because no one knew this was going to pop off. Like, you got to understand, that's kind of one of the draws of Phil, is that you never know really what you're going to get. He's the Forrest Gump chocolate box, except it's not chocolate. It may look like chocolate, but it's not chocolate. You don't know what shit's in there and whatnot. You never really know how bad it's going to smell. But you know it's going to smell, you just don't know how bad. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what he is. He's a box of shit, and the day varies. It varies every day on how and what he does. It's easy to skip a day or two and nothing happens. It's very easy for that to happen. But then you get days like this that no one was ready for. You know, we all knew Tut was going to eventually leave. We just didn't know how or when. No one could have planned for this.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Max Payne.
This is how to play the game.
Alright guys, so that's actually the end of that. It was, like I said, it's a man who doesn't have any control of anything, to be honest. Actually, I can go ahead and just kill that. He's just someone who doesn't really have control of anything, to be honest. And it's worse than ever, because now he was like reduced to pleading with them. These people, these doormats, if you will, who he shows little to no respect for, he was reduced to pleading with them, to please let him play this game, to get his mind off his situation, to give him an opportunity to just do something and whatnot, instead of dealing with the drama that was right in front of him, which is absolutely hilarious. Which was absolutely hilarious. So what happens now, moving forward? Well, to be honest with you, it's all in Tut's hands. Tut, in truth, really has all the control. He makes all the moves, and we'll see what happens. To be honest with you, watching Low Tier God over the next couple days might be actually a pretty good start, just to see what's going on with that. You don't really have to watch Low Tier God. There are other people already doing it. But that's going to be the real thing, and we'll see what happens. Now, does Tut come across to me as the type of person to go and kiss and tell? I don't think so. And I don't think Low Tier God's going to be one of those individuals who's going to care enough for him to do so. But we'll have to see. we're just going to have to see how this plays out. We're going to have to see what kind of begging and pleading is going to come out of all this to get Tut back. And will any of that stuff get leaked? Will any of that conversation will eventually see the light of day? And we'll actually get to see some of Phil's true desperation, which is going to be entertaining in its own right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have something left for you guys at the end of this, because I think you guys should see it. This is brought to us by Davidson. It's kind of just the end of the end part of the stream. Essentially, right before he got into the gameplay, you can get a better look at his face and see kind of the distress he's in. And then I have something else for you after that. That's gonna be a wrap. This is kind of a big deal, kinda, but you know, it is what it is. It's a normal day. You know what I'm saying? I expect Phil to fuck up in some way, shape, or form, and he doesn't disappoint. I expect his chat, as well as people in his chat, to eventually bring Phil down. It's just another day and whatnot, and you make of it as you will. So there you guys go. Ladies and gentlemen, this is DSP News. Always late, never breaking, unreliable coverage that you can't count on at GTG Network and Productions. I am your host, /anchor GTG, and I'm signing off. God damn it, Phil. So damn lazy. And you see it now. I hope you see it now. You're so damn lazy. End the broadcast. Amazing.
How many times have I said? How many times have I said that this is a place where we're just supposed to be chill and have fun with each other and relax? And if everyone would just do that instead of being fucking dicks to each other, then we wouldn't have these problems. But we gotta have the people who gotta stir the every day. They're in there. They gotta have the snide remark about me or my content. They gotta say the really biting nonsense, the real sarcastic shit. They gotta try to be fucking nasty to other people in the stream. It's like, come on, man. I really don't. At this point in my life, I have no patience for this shit. Especially, and the thing is, especially when things are going good. You know what I mean? Things have been going so positively good recently. So positive and good. And for that to maybe fall apart because of the actions of a few immature assholes, you know? I just can't. I don't want stuff to fall apart. We've been doing so good. Streams have been outstanding, incredibly supportive, and even though YouTube's been sucking, even though for 2 straight months, basically nothing positive has come out of YouTube, the streams have been so much awesomeness. People, just think about this. 600 people were gifted subscriptions and have been able to use all the emotes, and people have been coming out to streams and being positive because of the positive vibe we get, and then because of some immature asshole coming here and bringing up drama shit now that might end. It's like, what the fuck, man? You know? And the thing is, I can't control it. What can I do? Right? I have no control out of that. None of it. I can't do anything about it because I'm just the content creator. I can't babysit every fucking person of the hundreds of people on the stream every day. And it pisses me the fuck off. It does. I can't have it anymore. I'm done. I'm done with this shit. When I see it, that's it. And this is the bottom line. No more, oh, Phil's over moderating and Phil's it. Fuck it. Because look what happens when I don't, right? When I have a hands-off approach, people can't behave. So fuck it. You want to be like that? You're not going to be here no more. I'm just done with it, you know? I can't have it. We're here. We're trying to have fun, and everyone trying to enjoy positivity. And you gotta have the fucking people who have to be negative and toxic and stir the shit. I can't have them be here anymore. You know, I just can't. I just can't have it. I'm not gonna have us all be negatively affected by the actions of a small few who can't fucking behave. So Jake likes cats. Good fucking riddance. I'm done with it.
See, them people from Peter put this young boy in the cold storm with no clothes on. That's why niggas got told on. I think he tried to hold on and was like, hold on. What's gonna happen if keeping it real goes wrong?